Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to share a quick unboxing and first look at the Microsoft Surface Go. Now, there are two different versions of this tablet. It launches today, the 8th of August, 2018. You can pick it up either in the 64 gig capacity or the 128 gig capacity. They both have the same processor. You're looking at $399. That's US dollars base price for the 64 and $549 for the one I'm unboxing today, which is the 128. Now, bear in mind the 128 does have 8 gigs of RAM, and more importantly than the 8 gigs of RAM, it does have a real SSD. If you go with that $400 version, you're going to be dealing with basically the slowest version of an SSD, if you could even call it that, on Earth. And that's because unlike this, which is actually an NVMe drive, the fastest that probably exists in any tablet out there, the 64 gig variety, again, not using an NVMe, it's basically using what I would tell most consumers is the equivalency of an SD card that is soldered onto the board. So bear that in mind when you make your choice. Now, as I get this out of here, you can see we have our tablet right there. I expect very solid build quality. You can see all the little indicators here on the box for essentially what we get on the tablet. Very, I would say, compact form factor, and that's what the Surface Go is all about. Camera top center, volume control, power button at the top there, headphone jack, USB Type-C port, which can, of course, give you video out, among many other things, and your power port right there, and then the Pogo port for the optional keyboard, which, if you pick this up, you're probably going to want to pick up the keyboard as well. So again, $550, not inexpensive for a tablet. I do not recommend going with the $400 version because, as I mentioned before, you are literally giving yourself how do I put it, the worst possible option. I mean, this has basically everything you could want in a mobile device for light computing as well as tablet capability. 5 megapixel camera on the front, 8 megapixel on the rear, which I think are nice upgrades, solid ones. Same build quality as you expect from Microsoft's Surface lineup. Micro SD card slot right here on the lower left corner of the back. And of course, still magnetic pen or a magnetic pen capability here on the left side. The pen is $100. A type cover ranges from $100 to $130. It has been built from the ground up, so to speak, for this different Pogo port orientation. For those of you that are wondering, let me put this down for a second, but I have to continue to reiterate, do not purchase that $399 option. I mean, literally, it is, even though it has the exact same processor, and you might be saying to yourself, well, that's what really matters, Ed, nothing else. I'm telling you that, having the NVMe that's in here is going to make a world of difference when operating it, more so than, basically harping on the processor performance. Because either way, what you're picking up here, there is the included charger, of course, still Microsoft's proprietary magnetic charging system. Last but not least, some paperwork. So out of the box, this does not have Windows 10 running on it. I'm going to go ahead and power it up right now. Power button being right here, as I mentioned before. Volume rocker, again, headphone jack, Type-C, which USB 3.1 capability basically. So like I said, any peripheral as well as outputting to a display, charging the device. You can also do, so if you want to run this on a battery pack, you can do that. You don't have to have Microsoft's proprietary charger with you, which is a really nice thing. Let me go ahead and power it up. And I'm sure we're going to be greeted by Cortana. Excuse the reflection. I'll try to do my best. You're getting me or the camera. Which is it going to be? Let's go flat. Still getting the camera and some lighting. There we go. That's about as good as I can do right now for the purposes of the unboxing. And again, when it comes to specifications, the 10-inch screen you're getting identical no matter which model you go with. You're talking about 1800 by 1200 resolution, so 217 ppi, I would say, is solid. No question about that. People have been complaining about the bezel. To me, how else are you going to hold a tablet? I really think this is a complaint that is overblown, kind of like people complaining about it not coming with the keyboard. Please tell me any tablet on earth that comes with the keyboard that's actually from a reputable manufacturer that competes with this product, because the reality is there is none. And that's something that, to me, I don't know how it's even a point of discussion or reference, but it is. Now, the reason I said to stay away from that 64 gig model, I'm not interested in Cortana. So I'm not going to take you through this. But essentially, if you go with the 64 gig eMMC version, that's the technical term for having an SD card as your, shut her up, it's just going to crawl. And what I'm anticipating from this is essentially a tablet market killer. Now, is it at, it's a little over £1. Is it as sleek as the Galaxy S Tab S3 or the Tab 4 that's going to be coming out this week as well? Not necessarily, but it is so much more powerful. I mean, infinitely more powerful and capable and practical. If you're going to invest your money in any sort of tablet, I have to say, I haven't used this yet, but just like when I reviewed the Surface 3 years ago, I said this is the tablet to kill all mobile OS-driven tablets. The same applies here, and that's why I'm excited to see Microsoft bring it back. Yes, is it expensive at $550, and then include the accessories, you get up to real laptop costs? Of course it is, but so are its competing products. I mean, if we look at what Apple has to offer in the iPad realm, and I don't mean their base model, because that's not what this is taking on. It's not taking on a $330 piece of crap. It's aiming at the higher tier, the Pro version, as well as Samsung's Tab S3, Tab 4, of course, being current. Then this is going to run circles around it. Will those things be quicker? Sure, they're running mobile applications. Will you be able to do an immense or an incredibly wide variety of things with this that you can with those? Absolutely, because you have a real computer. Now, is it underpowered with that Intel Pentium processor? Of course it is. It's a 44.5Y. I mean, it's a low voltage chip. It's not giving you, I think it's roughly half the performance of the lowest end Surface Pro currently in the lineup, but you are getting a smaller form factor. It's not pocketable, but much smaller. And for those of you that are looking to travel light, I mean, a little over £1 with a keyboard that's going to let you do, again, light computing, maybe play some games. I will test this and see, if PlayerUnknown can run on this thing. Maybe Fortnite. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Fortnite. But the whole point is this is a PC at the end of the day. So even though it looks and feels like a tablet, has great build quality, it can do things you simply aren't going to get out of, any other tablet on the market. Like I have the S3 right here. And in terms of form factor, I mean, you can see a lot less bezel, very close in size. The S3 clearly a lot thinner, but at the end of the day, the S3 is just not a computer. And to me, that's the beauty of what you're getting here, is that you are getting a mixture of both. And that's really the beauty. I mean, really the beauty. Now, I'm not doing my Wi-Fi setup. I mean, I can. Hold on. Bear with me. But I really think that this is the way to go if you're in the market for a tablet that isn't going to be a one-year wonder. And I say that because that's exactly what I think this achieves. I think it has longevity, it has stability and build quality. Of course, a reputable company behind it. That's not even in question. So a lot to like here, and I'm just excited to share it with all of you. I'll give you further impressions of its performance. Do I think it's going to hit that 9-hour battery life mark? Maybe, maybe not. But with 128 gig real NVMe SSD, 8 gigs of RAM, even with that processor not being a powerhouse, this clearly, in my opinion right now, is already more impressive than any other tablet option on the market, because it just can do more than any other tablet that's out there from any manufacturer. As much as I love the AMOLED on this, I know I can't do, as a YouTuber, as a professional, as someone who invests in the stock market, I'm inherently going to be more prone to use something like this than the Galaxy Tab line of tablets, or, of course, Apple's iPads. Any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. Hit that like button, and as usual, please feel free to subscribe. Later.